From this last cold snap that we're just now coming out of, we had a lot of customers calling in asking about their heat pump. I hear a loud clunk or a whish noise, and then the system starts smoking. Is it going to blow up? Why is my system saying that the heat kits are running a whole lot longer than they normally do? My system doesn't seem to be heating right. What's going on? I thought I would make a quick video about this because I know other folks are going to have similar questions. In order for me to explain this to you, I really need to cover the 4 different types of heating cycles that a heat pump can go through. I'm Kenneth with Atlas AC, and if you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe. That would really help me out with the YouTube algorithms. We also have free buyer's guides and online pricing that you also might find to be helpful. Now, let's get after it. Here I'm showing you an example of a heat pump using defrost mode. The unit on the right is my neighbor's, and the other one is mine. You can see how their heat pump is getting warm and how mine is really cold. And mine is also going to cycle into defrost mode here pretty quick. And you can clearly see there's a pretty big difference there. That being said, let's talk about the 4 types of heating that a heat pump can perform. The first type is the most common way that a heat pump runs in heating mode. It uses the outdoor condenser to absorb as much heat as it possibly can. Then using the refrigerant, it pumps its way to the evaporator coil. The evaporator then heats up, and the blower is now pushing warm air, heating up your home. And the reason why that they say heat pumps is one of the most efficient way to heat your home is because it's using refrigerant to do all the heavy lifting. The other 2 most common ways to heat your house is using a furnace or straight electric system. And a furnace uses flames to create its heat, and for electric heat, you're heating up the heat strips until they're glowing red hot. A heat pump is not creating heat like these other 2 methods, it's moving heat. Now, if a heat pump is trying to pull heat from outside and it's a really cold day, like on this day here, it's 18 degrees outside, and my thermal gun is showing that the condensing coils are at 10 degrees, the system is going to start icing up. Once the heat pump ices up, it's not going to be able to heat. So, how do we solve this problem? One way to do this is to reverse the refrigerant flow and turn it back into an air conditioner. And that's exactly what you saw my system just do. In some systems, you can hear a loud clunk noise when it reverses. It's surprising to see how quickly the coils are warming up. What's happening here is the indoor evaporator coil is now absorbing the heat from inside your house. Then it's sending it back to the outdoor unit. Then the heat pump can now melt all that ice. Once all the ice is melted, the reversing valve will turn it back into heating mode. But this creates a problem because the air handler is now blowing really cold air. To offset this, heat strips are used to reheat the air before it gets to you. And this is the second type of heat that we see a heat pump use. And it's very common for heat pumps to start cycling into defrost mode once temperatures drop below 40 degrees. So when you see steam come out of your HVAC system like you see here, there's nothing wrong with the system. It's working exactly how it was designed to. Right here, we're looking at a report from my power metering device, and this is showing the data from January the 26th, 2026. Now, this report is showing everything that the house is pulling. For example, this spike right here is the water heater, but we can still use this report to see what our heat pump is doing. Because right here, I can see these little power drops. And what that is the system going into defrost mode. Then shortly after, we see the heat strips come on, where we see a 10,000 watt jump. And I'm running 10 kW heat strips, so it all makes sense. And you can see it cycling a couple of times. Actually, this section here is Sunday. And right here at 6:30 is where I'm getting the B-roll film from. And you might be asking, if the system's in defrost mode using the heat kits, why don't we see a similar spike here like we do over here when it's in defrost mode? So what's happening here is I have the thermostat set at 68 degrees, and the heat pump itself can't keep up. So what it's doing right here is running the heat pump and the heat kit at the same time. So both the heat pump and the heat kit is heating at the same time to kind of supercharge the heat. And here these little dips is when the system is going into defrost mode. However, what we see is the heat strips being used non-stop from 11:30 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. So 10 hours straight. And I was thinking that the circuit that's powering the heat kit is getting a little warm. And you can see it right here. And yep, it sure is. And this is why it's important that the wire is correctly sized, because the smaller the wire, the more heat it's going to generate, which could lead to a fire. Now, that being said, I don't think this day was cold enough for my system to operate in this way. And that's because the thermostat is downstairs and the temperature was set at 68 degrees. And I have such bad ductwork that the upstairs is getting up into the 80s. When I woke up this morning, our room was 83 degrees, which to me was pretty impressive because it was 18 degrees outside. So I'm thinking I should be able to properly heat my home without the system going into this mode, if I can get the air to go where it needs to be. If you want to learn more about ductwork, you might want to watch this video next. I'm also going to be upgrading my ductwork either this week or next week, so stay tuned for those results. Now this brings us to our last type of heating, which is emergency heat. Emergency heat is when the system does not use the heat pump at all to heat, only the heat kits. This can occur if you're having issues with your outdoor unit, like a faulty defrost board, or having issues with your compressor, and so on. The other reason why emergency heat could be needed is if the outdoor temperatures are just too cold for it to continue working. In that case, it's going to use the heat kits to get you through the cold snap. Basically, it's there to cover you for the worst case situation and buy you a little bit of time. Before we wrap things up, I got a big favor to ask of you. If you find yourself in our service area here in Texas, and if you're ever needing to replace your HVAC system, I would ask if you would give us an opportunity to earn your business. And that's really what keeps things going. Because we don't have any YouTube sponsors and pretty much everything we do comes out of our own pocket. And if you're not in our service area, you can still help too by liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. That being said, what we saw, the primary type of heat that comes from a heat pump uses just the outdoor unit to heat your home. And then when temperatures drop below 40 degrees and the unit starts accumulating ice, it uses defrost mode in the heat kits for a short period of time to dethaw the unit, and sometimes we see a lot of steam that comes off of it from it. The next type was supplemental heat, when it got cold enough for the system to no longer be able to satisfy the thermostat temperature. It then used the heat pump and the heat kits at the same time in order to give it a little bit of a boost. It can also go into this mode if I raise the thermostat temperature, let's say by 5 or 6 degrees, and the heat pump knows that it can't satisfy it very quickly. It will also use supplemental heat to help speed things along. And a quick tip that's especially true when it comes to supplemental heat, make sure that your filters are good. That way it doesn't mess up the heating operations of the system. So if you know a cold snap's on the way, make sure you check your filters. And lastly, we had emergency heat, and that's when the system only uses the heat kits and does not use the outdoor unit at all. And the emergency heat is there for worst case scenarios and to help buy you a little bit of time. I hope this video helped. Until next time, have a good one.
Let's see if I can get into my car now. There we go.